Meanwhile, it's estimated that up to 240 cultural sites have been destroyed or damaged in Ukraine. That figure from UNESCO has been verified by satellite imagery. UNESCO battling to try to provide help and assistance to protect what can be protected. Well, we're going to talk now to architect and urban planner Martin Duplantier, who's based both here in France and also in Ukraine. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme. I know you've travelled to Ukraine to try and start this process of advising and getting heads around the idea of reconstruction. Tell us, first of all, what you've seen has actually been lost.
Well, a lot of things have been lost. You've been talking about 240 heritage buildings. We've recorded more than 700 because we have a wider view, as the UNESCO has, in terms of heritage. Heritage in Ukraine is very wide, from the 20th century back to the 9th century, and it's also very diverse. I've seen cities that have been completely raped off the surface of the world, as Izium, for example, where 99% of the buildings are damaged or completely demolished, as well as the historical center of Kharkiv, but as well very precise buildings that actually really embody the Ukrainian culture. In Chernihiv, for example, the first museum of Ukrainian culture has been hit 6 times by shellings, Russian shellings.
At this stage, can you go about even thinking about getting to the point where you might be able to reconstruct or rebuild some of that?
Of course. The first thing is to protect what is there, to find the archives, try to keep track of all of this destruction, and try to protect them, because winter here is, as you know, full of snow and rain, etc. So it's worsened the situation, and there are, extremely simple emergency measures to take. So that's what we're trying to do. And simultaneously, our task is also to find money, to find funds to rebuild them. Of course, not on the front line, but, a bit, for example, in the Kiev region, which is quite safe at the moment with the air shield. This is feasible. Also in the Chernihiv region, which has been deoccupied for almost 11 months now, this is also something we're looking at.
I'm sure everyone would agree that it's important to protect cultural, the cultural sites that you've been talking about, but obviously a lot of the country is in ruins and people need homes and that kind of thing. Why should resources go towards culture?
That's a good question, because culture is one of the main topics of this war, right? We've been talking about energy, but there's also a main issue, which is Ukraine, which is the existence of these people, this culture. So culture is giving sense to why we live together, why we create, why we are a nation, and this is as important as, of course, giving homes and roofs to the millions of people that have lost homes. So I wouldn't oppose them. I would see that as a complementary approach. As you know, most of the eastern part of Ukraine has been already demolished in the Second World War, and there's been very little care about the heritage of this part of the country. And actually what we are paying now is also the fact that the Soviets unrooted all of these people from their land, from their geography. And so we don't want to actually repeat this era.
Martin Duplantier, thanks very much for joining us on the programme today, architect and urban planner. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.